Yo people, I hope you're doing well. I'm back today for a new video on Forza Horizon 5. A video in which we're going to go for a little test, the same test we did back in the day on Forza Horizon 4. Can we run out of gas on Forza Horizon 5? In this video, we're going to take one car or several. We'll see how it goes. And we're going to try to go until the end of the gas gauge. First, we'll see if it works, if the gauge is active. We'll see if something happens when we reach zero and if something happens when we go past the reserve. Will the situation evolve from Forza Horizon 4? Or are the gauges purely visual for now? Does it really have an impact on the gameplay? So, for this video, we're going to test with a car that, in reality, normally consumes around 14 or 15 liters per 100 in sporty driving. Let's put it that way. The Honda Civic Type REK9, which was one of the cars I have available in my garage, that I wanted to customize. But I wasn't necessarily sure that this kind of model really had an interest. Let's say for a separate video. I thought we'd make some moves, customize and improve this car, then do a bit of testing with it. If yes or no, we can run out of gas, so. By the way, a little information you will have seen, the measurement of power can be done in horses. It's a small detail, but it was a small detail that was expected, still with impatience, from a large part of the community, French players, and other countries that measure power not in kilowatts but indeed in horsepower. It's doable to play Forza Horizon 5 with the power display while keeping the speed in kmh. So, we're obviously going to take our Civic, we're going to upgrade it to the max. Technically, it should come out, if my memory serves me right, around 540 horses. And obviously that car, we're going to upgrade it intelligently for this video. That is to say, we're not going to reduce the weight, or at least, we're not going to reduce it too much. Because a car that is lighter, obviously, consumes less than a car that is heavier. And here, our goal today is to consume as much as possible to get to zero on the gas gauge as quickly as possible. We're even going to try to add maybe a little bit of weight by putting in the safety bars, that kind of thing. I will obviously customize the car's aesthetics as well. So for some parts it's going to add weight, for others it's going to remove a little bit. At worst, it will vary by 2-3 kilos. At worst, it's not like we have a real weight reduction, like the game allows, which sometimes makes you win. Car weights vary from 100 to 1,984 pounds. We will obviously also improve everything that will be gearbox, since there we will play in damages. Simulation to determine if it's possible to run out of gas. In Motorsport 7, another game from the Forza series, you can only run out of gas if you activate simulation damage settings. Otherwise, it's just visual damages, and anyway, your gas gauge doesn't count. Since we're playing in simulation, we'll definitely experience mechanical wear in terms of damages. We're going to enhance the box to make it more durable and long-lasting. And we're going to do the same thing for the tires. We're going to put slick tires, which are tires that are not normally among the most resistant. But normally, we should have more grip, since the goal is to drive fast on the highway, possibly slaloming between cars going 100-155 miles, slower than us. Having good tires, it's going to be important not to hit an AI directly and fall back, let's say, with a damaged engine too quickly. So we're still going to put on slick tires in order to have good grip at high speeds and be able to avoid obstacles. If there are any, we're going to finish improving this car. And before starting this little test, I simply want to point out that at the time, on Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Horizon 4, you couldn't run out of gas. In any case, because of the gas, obviously, we could break down because the engine damage had reached 100%, or because the tires were ruined, or due to the transmission that was simply damaged. But we couldn't, and we had tested it. Besides, it was a video that you quite liked, wasn't it? At the time, we couldn't break down at all because of the gas. My little finger tells me that on Forza Horizon 5 we couldn't, but on Forza Horizon 5. We must remember that the developers have been very receptive to player feedback on Forza Horizon 4. They have added many small features, customizations, and details. It's possible that these kinds of little secrets remained precisely secrets until the release of the game, so that the players could test for themselves. Honestly, I think there is still 90% chance that we can't run out of gas. What if we don't run out of gas at the end of the video? It will be pointless to comment that you wasted your time watching this video. First good news, however, the gas gauge seems to be working. And I tested a little bit before starting this video. The car seems to consume more with the improvements than full stock. I drove on the Forza Horizon 5 highway in the distance, which I remind you, is still quite wide. And we lost, let's say, a small quarter, a small fifth of the tank. Previously, my completely stock car was producing 180 horsepower. I had consumed less fuel than that, only about a seventh or a small amount of the tank. The game recognizes that a car's power influences how quickly the fuel gauge decreases. Now, it remains to be seen if this kind of intelligent calculation on Forza Horizon 5 is just for visuals, or if there is an impact behind it. So, obviously, since it might take a while, I'm going to make cuts until we get to zero on the used fuel gauge. At this point in the video, I have realized something, so I don't know if I'll show it in the edit. But in any case, the engine damage is functional, and you can damage your engine quite quickly if you shift gears at the wrong time. Earlier, I downshifted a little too quickly from 5th to 4th, and I took it straight away. The Civic suffered 16% front-end damage in a 40-31 miles HVMAX crash, resulting in a loss. We consume less since I can't reach the same speed peaks. As a result, this test will likely be a bit longer than expected. We've reached an empty tank, based on the game's display, after driving for quite some time. I estimate that in about 25 to 30 minutes, I've technically emptied the fuel tank of this Civic. While on reserve, we plan to make a couple more highway round trips to ensure everything is in order, to check if something occurs. Initially, nothing appears to be happening. It seems to behave like Forza Horizon 4. Answer soon in a few minutes for me and moments for you in the video editing. Result, after several other back and forth on the highway, well, nothing special is happening. They could have done something very simple. They could have put an option for additional damage. First time, well, to activate fuel damage. And simply to not bother them. Well, to model a possible gas failure, they could simply say that when the tank was empty. So the engine damage goes to 100%. The car starts to sputter and it was settled. What I'm proposing to you, though, is to test the same thing with an electric vehicle. On Horizon 5, we'll have more electric vehicles than Forza Horizon 4. In my garage, I have the Taycan Turbo S, a car with a very good range. Except that here, it's improved with an engine that technically has about 300 more horsepower. Regardless, 150 kilodollars or 200 kilodollars more than this base car. And what I'm suggesting is to see if the gauge of gas decreases, at least a little. Well, in any case, the electricity gauge. Or see if it's maybe not even taken into account on electric ones. And to my great surprise, they didn't even, let's say, take the care to calculate the electricity gauge. On the Taycan, at least, it is displayed, but it does not decrease at all. I've been driving between 200 and 440 km/h for several minutes. Remember, the Taycan is still very fast. Check out my channel for a full video presentation of this car. The gauge says nothing, not even, which makes me say that, for example, on the Civic we didn't make a mistake. We didn't, for example, make the mistake of not waiting long enough after emptying the reserve. I believe that, as with Horizon 4, such details are overlooked. Indeed, it's not very RP. However, as long as there is no in-game system to manage fuel, such as gas stations, it remains an issue. Or refuel at the auto show, or at the dealership, or at our place. It's clearly a feature that cannot be introduced. If there's no way to refuel, there's also no way to run out of gas. We thoroughly tested this, unlike my video at the time on Forza Horizon 4, where we perhaps indeed did not drive long enough on reserve. However, I tested multiple times later, off camera, and it couldn't be broken down. On Horizon 5, it's still the same. First minor critique of Forza Horizon 5's realism. No fuel consumption mechanic. But is this a significant issue? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Personally, it still frustrates me when I challenge myself. 50 laps of Goliath, breaking down on the 49th and unable to complete the circuit. Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Don't hesitate to come follow me on Twitch for those who are interested in seeing me live. You will find my Twitch channel in the description and in the top comment. So don't hesitate to come take a quick look at follow, of course. Use your Twitch Prime as well if you have Amazon Prime on the Twitch channel. This will allow you to support me for free, while enjoying little bonuses on your side like contests, for example, that kind of thing. Don't hesitate to join me on social media to stay updated on my news. being able to communicate with me, send me private messages, and everything that goes with it. Of course, don't hesitate to use my support links under this video to make your purchases while supporting my channel. I have a link, Instant Gaming, which will allow you, for example, to buy your games and subscription cards at a reduced price, like Forza Horizon 5 or Game Pass, if you want to get Game Pass to play Forza Horizon 5.